UFC 322 is officially in the books, and what a night it turned out to be. An absolute powerhouse of a card, non-stop action, raw intensity, and moments fans will be debating for years to come. Everyone watching could feel it. This event wasn't ordinary. It was something special.
Теперь у нас тоже есть два чемпиона. У нас самая сильная страна, самая сильная республика, самые лучшие бойцы.
We were all wondering how Islam would look at 170, if the strength, if the power, if the grappling would translate. As the week went on, I think we all thought, okay, he's really comfortable looking at 170. He's looking really good without his shirt in those photos and in the training footage that we saw. And he said it afterwards, Chuck, in the post-fight interview to Joe Rogan. He's like, man, this is a dream. I feel so much better. And it's a scary thought. That's his first fight at 170. Just think how he's going to look after his second and his third. It's really remarkable what this guy is doing. I'm blown away by the performance because I really think the world of Jack Della, who had not, lost in the UFC and was on an incredible winning streak himself, to do that to him is nothing short of amazing.
See, now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I want to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam now. I want to see it even more now. Dude, Ilia versus Islam White House. Make it happen, Dana. Make it happen.
I like the over. I think the under-over is 2.5 rounds. I'm not sure what the lay is, what the money is as far as laying, but I can tell you if that's accurate, 2.5 rounds, I like the over. I'll tell you that.
But my shuttle just got here and I saw him walk. I wanted to tell Khabib and Islam both congratulations, man. What they're doing is incredible. Just won a belt, 15 pounds up. I mean, dominantly. It's just him and his team, the work they're doing and the way they're performing is incredible, man. I gotta respect it,
Huh? Usman's there. Usman can be a problem. Yeah. We've seen how he done well against Chimaev as well.
Yeah.
That can be definitely. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably Andy doesn't take an unnecessary risk. Yeah. So he's a smart. I think Usman will be Islam's toughest challenge. Won't take any unnecessary risk. Can stick to a game plan. Who's going to give Islam problems? Get me at 170. Get me at 170.
We'll get you back on the Maccas.
Nah, look. Again, feel bad for JDM. Feel for him. Obviously, you don't get much better dudes than Jack. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
I think when we think about the White House, it's almost like, oh, does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? For you, would you be happy putting a non-American main event on that card?
Yeah, it's not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can build.
So could Islam end up on the White House?
We're talking about him possibly, GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights. So it's a possibility. And I was saying to Khabib, I've been in the fight business since I was 20 years old. And all I ever hear is, this guy's going to be a world champion. This guy's going to do this. This guy's going to do that. Everybody says the same thing, and almost nobody ever does or makes it. His father said, Khabib will go in and dominate, and he'll have a run, and when he's done, and then Islam will come in behind him and do the same. And, holy shit, it played out exactly the way his father said, which is pretty amazing. I don't know what you asked me, but I hope I answered your question.
No, it's just if you didn't watch the fight and you want to know just how dominant it was somewhat reminiscent of the Khamzat Chimaev Dricus du Plessis fight, which we saw back in August. The fight, each round starts standing. Shortly thereafter, there's a takedown, and Jack Della was just never able to get up. He was never able to do much on the ground. Towards the end of the fight, he looked defeated. He looked distraught. He looked deflated. His calf was messed up. Not to suggest that Islam didn't hit him with some shots standing, but it just was one-way traffic throughout. He is just so strong. He is so good. He is so dominant. He is so talented. And now he becomes just the 11th fighter in UFC history to win a belt in 2 different weight classes. He is also the man who has just won his 16th fight in a row, and in doing so, ties the great Anderson Silva for the longest winning streak in UFC history. So all kinds of history made tonight at Madison Square Garden. He is the pound-for-pound best in the world. There is no denying that. and is slowly but surely going down as one of the greatest ever. And in my opinion, has put his mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, with this victory very much in the rearview mirror. He has surpassed him. If he had not done so already, Islam Makhachev is that guy. And now the welterweights, which we'll be talking about a lot on this here program, have a new problem to figure out, because this is going to be a very tricky puzzle.
I didn't think Islam was going to be able to, I didn't think Islam is small for 170. I've seen him in person. I've trained with him. He's a big fucking dude. And who would Islam fight next at 170? You know what? I think Islam is destined for, he should fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. If he beats Ilia Topuria, he retires. Islam has plenty of money, right? Go out on your shield like Khabib did. A lot of people in MMA don't want to see that, but in mixed martial arts, us athletes, we stay too long at the party. There's no reason for an athlete to continue to come into the head and all that stuff. If I was him, fight Ilia Topuria at the White House, you beat Ilia Topuria, walk away. I'm sure he made another one. That shit probably goes as far as fucking Russia. So there's no point for him to keep on fighting.
Topuria, I don't know if you saw his tweet. He said you're like the most boring fighter in the UFC or something like that. I know you said to ask you about him after the fight at Media Day. Can you give us your full thoughts on a fight with him now?
No injury, nothing. I don't feel any pains. I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Let's do this, and I will make it easy.
Even before the arena settled, viewers were already rewinding every expert prediction. Suddenly, everything said before the main event hit with a completely different weight. Volkanovski was one of the first to break it all down. He praised Jack Della Madalena's incredible composure under pressure, the scrambles, the recoveries, the ability to stay alive in the worst moments. He believed those traits could be Jack's secret weapon against someone as complete and dominant as Islam Makhachev. But Volk also made one thing clear. This fight wasn't just technique versus technique. It was a true test of identity.
And then all of a sudden he'll be like, oh, I want to get up now, and just get up. Literally, even with Gilbert Burns, elite grappler. He would be on his back, and then he's like, all right, time to get up now. And then literally, as soon as he wants to get up, he makes something happen, makes space. He's going to need that this fight. He's going to need more of that. He's going to need to have that urgency the whole way through, because you know he can do it. If you can do it from the worst position, imagine that urgency the whole way through. I'm banking on him making it real hard for Islam to get him down. But again, Islam's grappling, wrestling, inter-grappling and control is elite. So he's got a real good understanding of mechanics, that awareness of where the body...
Volkanovski didn't back off his stance. He called JDM a legitimately dangerous underdog, the kind of wild card who could drag Islam into situations where even he might struggle to escape. Chaos is where Jack thrives. But despite that, Volk acknowledged exactly why Islam walked in as the favorite. Experience, physical strength, control, composure, all the elements of a world-class champion.
On the underdog, going Jack Della Maddalena. Can he get a finish? Of course he can. Of course he can. I think Islam's good enough to survive though when he's gets hurt, grabs something. But Jack does such a great job of, if you're just hanging onto a leg just to stop that, Jack's not the type of guy to just try and win position. He will just turn his hip, grab your hip, turn enough while you're grabbing, just smash. Can you get a reverse from there? Yeah, you can. But can he get the finish? Because he's such a solid and powerful dude. He can as well. So that's interesting. So decision wins looking pretty good here, but a finish is definitely there. Paying $3.16, you're better off just going for the win. All right, there you have it.
But then Israel Adesanya chimed in and he changed the whole tone of the conversation. Izzy warned that Islam, for all his completeness as a fighter, could still be pulled into a pure striking battle. And that is the last place he wants to end up. Jack's power, his explosiveness, his finishing instinct, a nightmare for anyone who stays standing too long. Adesanya didn't just say it was dangerous, he said it was unavoidable.
With Islam, he's gonna have to overwhelm him with punishment on the feet. And then when he shoots, because he has to shoot, Islam's not gonna want to stand with Jack. This is where I'm supposed to win, or I'm better at supposedly. I'm not trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know when Jack keeps getting up, it's gonna be a problem. And Islam's gonna be forced to strike. And And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's gonna get hurt. That's where I'm at in this fight. And Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis, one of the best fighters in history, one of the most efficient. I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting, I think Islam will be able to get him down. Well, for how long? Yeah, in this fight, not just because it's Anxiety United, I really think that Jack Dilla has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be second.